Welcome to Straight Up with Steve and Stevona Delgado. How are you, Steve?
I'm good. How are you, Steve?
Oh, I'm living large. Living large. It's true.
Living large, being large. Just large all day, huh?
Just fat as I'm big. I'm real big. Well, you know what sucks being big is and having a baby. So I'm old, I'm fat, and then I got the baby. So there'll be times when, because she'll sit out and she'll stand up and she's running around. Sometimes I'll like sit down to sit with her, and then she stands up right away. I'm like, you I'm like, ugh. And Julia said this as a joke, but this is real too. We caught her whenever she's like picks up things, she goes like, ugh.
Oh my gosh, like you?
Yes. She's just copying both of us.
That's the noise you made when you fell down into this chair right now, remember?
She said, you are big. You just fall into chairs.
Literally doesn't, you don't guide yourself at all. You just, ugh.
Well, also, it's these chairs, okay? I wouldn't do that with like a white chair.
Can I show you how you sit for the Chatterbox group pictures outside?
Go
Okay, he sits like this. He gets ready.
I mean, remember the videos?
He turns around like this. Then he goes.
I mean, did you get any of that, Greg? I mean, otherwise I'm just fall. How would you sit down on the ground? Let me see. Oh, knee? Oh no, I haven't kneeled in a long time.
You have to like do
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, let's check this out.
just ass in the air.
Yeah.
Ass in the air in order to take position.
Yeah. I overheard Stevona at the bar last week. She was talking from Jerry, from Idiots at Jerry's, and I heard her bring up the term soul ties. Now, Greg, I don't know if you know what soul ties are. I can imagine what soul ties are, but why don't you explain to the audience what you mean when you say soul ties?
Like when you have sex with a person, you are intertwined with them, and energy is being exchanged.
Okay.
And in most cases, a lot of people carry like whatever energy that person that they're having sex with, it gets taken into them. And you'll kind of see it like when a toxic man is in a relationship with like this really awesome woman. She's beautiful, she's vibrant, high energy, she's fun, and he's just not. He's negative, he's disgusting. You know, like they have sex and you will literally see them, like the girl will just, her soul will literally get taken away, and she's just not bright, she's not fun anymore, she loses her spark. But the man, every time he has sex with her, he feels good about himself because he's exchanging her energy of like her vibrations, her, you know, her whatever traumas she doesn't carry, you know, just like that energy, and whatever he's suffering from, she ends up receiving it. And it doesn't stop if they keep having sex.
So you think this happens through the sex?
Yes, mainly for women though. See,
that doesn't make sense.
I know, but men and women are made differently.
I'll accept.
Gotcha.
No. It's not. I don't necessarily agree with you completely, but I'm just saying, if soul ties was a thing, then a man would take on the woman stuff too.
In most cases,
The way you made it sound was like vampires.
Oh, well, it feels like that. If ladies, if you ever know a man that knows. Man, you know how draining it is to walk around just all day like.
Now I don't believe in soul ties. I think it's crazy. I think you're crazy. Have you ever seen Vanilla Sky?
No.
I want you to watch it. I think you'd actually like it. But there's a part where Cameron Diaz talks about this, and she kills Tom Cruise's character. It's near the beginning. But they have sex. She's a model. And she goes, we had sex. Like, you're bound to me. And he's like, what? This chick is fucking crazy. Mm-hmm. But you believe that crazy shit.
Yeah, I feel like I'm bound to some people after. Like, there's always going to be something there where I can't, like, well, I'll never forget about them either, because it's just
well, it's okay if you didn't forget about them. But there's guys you've had sex with that they have no tie to you at all whatsoever now, right?
Yeah, but I want to forget about them.
Well, why?
Because they were just like, no, they were just not there for a reason.
But this is not soul tie stuff. But sex isn't deep like that for everybody. Maybe for you, every time you've had sex with someone that meant everything.
Yeah.
It meant something. You never had sex one time with some guy and it was like no big deal?
No big deal, but I would have liked for it to become something. But I don't sleep with enough men. I don't sleep with a lot of men for that reason because I know how I am, and it's just like I understand to men 6 is like no big deal.
That's just not true though. That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm trying to crack your like Christian, pseudo-Christian way of thinking about this stuff. That's not true. I know a lot of guys. I think I'm even this way. Greg's for sure this fucking way. I'm not just having when I have sex with somebody. Probably if I kiss them, if I make out with them, and have a good night with them. When I have sex with somebody, it's like it's a big deal to me. I'm like,
not really. You're polyamorous.
Yeah, but I'm not fucking everybody. I'm polyamorous. That means that I'm open to being in love with more than one person. But I'm not. I could have a lot more sex if I just wanted to just have sex with somebody. But I don't think most people. Like I said, my shit's pretty intense. So if I'm having sex with somebody, it means a lot to me. And I'm like, pretty quickly, I'll be like, damn, I'm in love with this person.
Yeah, it means a lot to me. And then it hurts when I have sex with a guy and then like the next few weeks they are talking with somebody else or like leaving with somebody else or something like that. So that's why I just don't sleep with guys.
Yeah.
Like that don't really have a real interest in actually wanting to like date me.
And I think that's smart. But I don't think ties has anything to do with that.
No, but it's like if we were talking and if we didn't have sex, it would be easier to not care.
That's absolutely true.
But it's like, damn, like I gave you a lot of me. I gave you access to a lot of me, and they just turn around.
That's what I'm saying is I don't think you don't have to make it. You don't have to call it these things, but because that man did not take your soul. It's just sex is important to you. And you thought it was as important to this person, and then they turned out to not care about much more than you, except for your pussy, right?
Yeah, and I would just much rather have not gave it up and have them always wonder and have them always wish.
I wonder about that Stevona P. Like that? you would always have them wonder about it. Oh, yeah. I wonder about that sweet.
I mean, some people are like, if I could, I would, but I can't.
Yeah,
you get me? You know, sometimes I see you at the bar. Sometimes you'd be like, oh man, if only something like that. You know?
What do you mean if only? What are you talking about?
Like sometimes you'd be talking about girls that like you don't really have, but you'd be like, she's hot, and you just, you know.
No, I don't get what you're saying. That's what I'm asking you.
Like. When you talk about girls that obviously you don't want to date, but you would do sexual stuff too.
But I wouldn't. That's the thing.
Oh, okay.
And that comes with age, but that comes with, when I talk about ethical non-monogamy and polyamory and stuff, is I don't disagree with you too much with everything. I think the idea of calling something soul ties is like it's like all weird and crazy and freaking. Who's that? I just mentioned. Who's that black director? Tyler Perry. That's something like in a Tyler Perry movie where they call it soul ties.
Yeah.
But to me, I do personally believe, and this isn't true for everybody, but I do think that once you have sex with somebody, that you're kind of responsible for them in a way that not having sex with them would be. Yes. And I know that you're kind of saying that too, and that guys, I do think it's kind of for guys will lie. And they will do whatever to f the person, and then afterwards they act like it's not a big deal. Even though I think men know in the back of their head. But I've dated women when I knew sex would be a big deal to them, and I didn't have sex with them because I didn't want to be responsible for their heart in that way.
Yeah,
I'll never forget after I got a divorce, dude. I went on the dating apps and I found this Disney woman. This is how you know I was hurting. She was a Disney adult.
A Disney adult? Yes. Oh my God. Actually, I have a friend. She's a Disney adult. She's right. But
yeah, I mean, it's not the end of it. It's not but for me, I was like, man, this is, and now I would make fun of them in a lot of ways. But in her pictures, it was her at Disneyland, a bunch and stuff. But I liked the way she looked. She was very much my type. She was like a short, curvy, like Jewish woman. And the first date, she almost talked me into buying an annual pass. This is how bad I was hurt. And she's like, if you just go like one time a month, it really pays for itself like pretty quick. And I was like, damn, you're right. I was like, you're right.
Oh, my God.
But I'll never forget. We went out to, I think, a second date and then a third. We went to a restaurant and then we kissed, I think, finally for the first time on the second or third date. Mm-hmm. And then I was like, she was just a little too reserved for me. And I'll never forget, she finally came over my house. This is right after Taylor Swift's 1989 came out, because I had the CD. And she came to my house. She was in my bed, and we were making out. And I remember I put my hand on her, over her bra. And I remember I looked in her eyes, and her eyes were like, you better take care of me. Really, her eyes were like, you better take care of me. And I was like, I can't do this. I just wasn't into, at 5 dates, if you're not into someone that much. She was fine. She, like I said, she was pretty and she was nice and cool. So I gave her my 1989. I was like, here. I was like, it's really good. You listen to it. But I knew in my heart, it's a farewell gift.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
And you know it. You do the Disney adults, they want that romantic.
Yeah.
They want you to save them.
Yes.
Oh, my gosh. You already know. You're like, honey, I can't be your Prince Charming.
Yeah. I mean, but I think, guys are, I mean, that's what's f***ed up about it. But I think we're taught in this culture that that sex, I think men are taught that it's so scarce that you have to do whatever you can to get it. Mm-hmm. I think in your 20s, you think of women and dating like almost hunting women, not in a way that's, weird, I don't think, but also like, I'm trying to catch this girl so I can get this scarce thing. And you're not thinking about, them as a person, that they're a whole person, that they have these hopes and stuff. Because there's tons of girls out there that are not like Stevona, that don't care about, that they'd love to have sex with you. You just have to tell them your intentions at the beginning. Even me, I could have so much more sex if I wasn't poly. If I was just cheating on my girlfriend or my wife, tons of girls would be like, that's totally cool. But because I'm a weirdo and would have to tell my wife about it, then they're like, I've had many women be like, nah, that's too weird for me. Yeah. I don't want your wife to know.
And I have had a guy that was straight up with me and told me, and I felt like that hurt, but it was really respectable.
Yeah,
it was
right?
Like, wow, like now I want to have sex with you even more. Just kidding. Yeah, I mean, but it really did hurt. But I'm like, I could be. What am I mad at? At least he didn't like string me along, you know, for years and years and years, and
or lie to you, tell you what you wanted to hear, so that he could get the thing that he wanted. Yeah, and that way, now you're always wondering about that D. He's not worrying about that P. He's not. You're worried about the D.
Seriously, the wholesome one suffer, dude.
See, look at that, fellas. She's thinking about this guy like, oh man, what a sweet guy. He told me he was straight up. If that was you, that could have been you. Then you have a nice little piece like Stevona, fantasizing, thinking about all these years later. You didn't do anything with him, did you?
No, because I already know where that's gonna go. I already know where that's gonna go.
That would have been real cool. It would have been cool. So see, we're not that far off from that. I just don't like that foo-foo weird talk. And also when you call it soul ties and shit like that, I think it is. There are girls that don't care that much about that would love to. I'm thinking of a friend we have in common right now who you probably know who I'm talking about, who loves, she's like, oh yeah, and she'll just like F a guy a few times and she'll be like, oh yeah, I just wanted to see what it was like. Which is what, if I could do that without hurting women, are people that I would love to have sex with, like most people. I think it would be cool to just have sex with someone, but
if I could, I would do that too. But also, I feel like I've been taking a lot of strength to take care of my body, for real. Like, yes. I don't drink. I try not to eat, drink. Well, I'm drinking giant soda right now, but I work out a lot. I go to bed as early as I can. I do a lot. I spend a lot of money on organic food. I do a lot to take care of my body. So it's also like, why the am I gonna let you in my body when you're you barely go to the gym, you out here staying all night, you drinking all the fucking time, got a fucking beer belly, you smell like cigarettes.
This is fat hate again. This has nothing to do with what we were talking about. No, a lot of them
ain't even fat. They're skinny.
She said beer belly.
They ain't doing okay.
She said not going to the gym, beer belly. She hates fat people.
They could be skinny and still have that little beer belly. That's even worse. The skinny fats. Oh gosh, pick one, right?
I was trying to be on Stevona's side. Obviously, we have differences of opinion about these things.
I'm sorry, I don't need a body shame.
Well,
we don't body shame in this house.
You do.
Okay, but I don't mean it.
Especially with our guest Silvia De Anda. There's a lot of right up top. a lot of fat people hate. I'll tell you what.
I love Sylvia. I can't believe I ever hated that bitch.
Did you hate her?
We used to hate each other.
Why?
I don't know. We just didn't with each other. We gotta have her back for that one. We used to hate each other though.
Well, you don't hate her now. I don't hate her. She's one of the funniest comics around. We love her here at the Chatterbox. She's so great. But thank you so much for listening. Please review us on iTunes, on Spotify. I don't think you even call it iTunes anymore. It's Apple and Spotify. And, of course, on YouTube. Subscribe. We want to get all these listeners. We want to get all these things. And please come to the Chatterbox. If you've never been to the Chatterbox, we're in Covina. We're one of the greatest bars around. This bar supports live comedy, supports live music. And it's cheap, okay? Now, you can go down to Old Town Covina if you want. Go to Rude Dog, like your dad or your uncle or something like that. I know we've got what's the new one called? Gladiators? Gladiators next to the Taco Bell, where people are gladiating on the pool table. Like warriors, yes. Or you could come to a place that respects art. Latin owned, okay, a light-skinned Colombian guy and an Aztec-looking Mexican.
We respect women. We respect fat people.
We respect women and fat people and gay people and trans people, unlike anything down there. Okay, I don't even want to know what's going on there. But thank you. Subscribe to Straight Up. Come to Chatterbox. We'll be right back with Silvia De Anda. And we're back with our guest. This is a story of grief, of despair, of sadness, but hopefully it ends as a tale of hope. We're here with comedian Silvia De Anda, and she recently had to move in with her in-laws. But before we get there, how did your love story begin, Silvia?
Well, it all started when I was born.
No. How did you and your man meet?
Online.
Okay.
Yeah.
What'd you do for your first date?
Raising canes.
Caniac times 2. Add 4 bread.
Look, I know I'm a big bitch, but I have class, all right? I'm going to Legends Hot Chicken or I'm going to Dave's Hot Chicken.
Oh, you have standards.
We don't
raising canes?
I'll do it.
Yeah.
But it's not spice,
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah. A lot of people, people love Raising Cane's. I love Raising Cane's, although somebody brought this up to me. And once you hear this, forgive me, audience, but once you hear this, you won't get out of your head. The sauce, of course, is incredible. The bread's great. But Raising Cane's, the chicken, tastes like nothing.
I love that.
It's juicy, but there's literally zero flavor. You have to dip it in that sauce, or it tastes like nothing. So I agree with you. But where did you guys go on your first date?
We went to get coffee at Tierra Mia.
Okay.
And it was... Honestly, when he first showed up, he was like wearing sweatpants and a beanie. I'm like,
Sweat?
Yeah, I'm like, this son of a bitch. Like, I showered for this, I really didn't think it was going to work out. But then he sat and we were talking, and we sat there talking for like 5 hours. And it was like the first time I'd had a conversation with a guy that I didn't have to create most of the conversation.
Yeah.
And he was just so fascinating, and like my brain was on fire. I was like, wow, he's like a real person, you know? And then we went and like got tacos, and we hung out for another, like our first date lasted 10 hours.
Wow.
And we just talked the whole time. And I was like, this is the most like interesting person I've ever met.
Wow, that's cool. I mean, I love your boyfriend. Adam's great. He's a great looking guy. He's thick too, but you guys are both good looking. Thick is not the end of the world, okay? I know Stevona doesn't like us, but...
I thought I was thick myself.
But you were wrong.
Oh. What about slim thick?
You put up, what'd you lose, 10 pounds, and then everything's tight now, right?
Yeah, but I'm also going to the gym, making sure my booty tight.
Yeah.
Chi-chi's lifted, back up,
Now, what do you eat?
Protein all day. Remember I told you I eat like 5 hard-boiled eggs a day?
Yeah, that's good. But
a lot of Greek yogurt, a lot of beef, a lot of turkey bacon, and cottage cheese. I'm into cottage cheese now, so.
And sour gummies. All day she'd be eating fucking sour gummies.
No, yeah, this bitch getting me fat.
Yeah.
And she does not want to go on one hot girl walk with me.
No.
But she stuffs me. She's like, I got your favorite candy.
Okay. First of all, sure. But last night she bought us Jack in the Box. We all didn't respond to her chat when she asked us, do you want anything?
Yeah.
And then she bought a ton of food. And then she's like, here, eat it. And I was like, I'm good. And then everyone else is fine. She's like, Sylvia, fucking eat it. Finish it. Finish it. I was like, oh, yeah. She's like, here's your schlop, pigs. Get it in. Fatten up.
And then I pulled out an orange.
She pulled out a fucking orange, a cutie from her purse. I was like,
Do you know what a feeder is, Stevona?
Oh, yeah, that's what she is.
No.
Yeah. It's a guy typically, although I'm starting to think this about you, but it's a man who feeds women, like makes them fat. He wants to fatten them up. It like turns them on.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, it doesn't turn me on, but it definitely helps me stay on top.
I think she really only wants to see me go on a hot girl walk so she can hear me breathe heavy. I think it makes her feel good.
I weigh 286 today. But I was weighing 300 for a few months, 302, 303, which is very heavy for me. And I mean, I was having trouble when I was taping videos of my daughter. I was like, you could hear me breathing. Like,
yeah, I can hear you sometimes.
And I was like, I gotta stop just for the videos of my daughter. You know what I mean? Some videos I couldn't post because I was breathing too heavy. And I was like, this is sad. Like, I feel like and I don't even have a Stevona in my life. Candy? Come on, guys. Candy is like a thing that you buy candy, Stevona.
They buy it for me.
Because you always want it.
No, I don't. I never ask. I never ask.
That's not true. That's not true.
One time I've asked, and then you guys keep bringing it to me, and I keep telling you, what do I say? This is my thing. I cannot have this junk food because I am on a mission to become the hottest bitch in La Puente.
Yeah.
And nothing is gonna stop me. Why La Puente? Because the bar's low, so it's easier.
Yeah. I've been outside. I'm older. I don't eat, I'm not buying a bag of chips. I'm certainly not buying candy. But there's not a time that I haven't walked out there where some chatterbox girl offering me a nerd rope, nerd clusters, a mambo or something like that, Starburst. What is this, man? You guys women of Chatterbox, cut it out. Truly cut it out.
Cut it out, fatties.
All right, so you're in love with Adam, so you guys make love. It's incredible.
Yeah.
He's a good lover, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I'm pretty good at telling when a guy could throw down. George, no. Greg Bummer, everyone's dropping things, sweaty palms. But Adam seems like he knows how to lay it down. How quickly did you two move in together?
It took a while, but I mean,
had you lived with a man before?
No.
Okay.
No. I was living with my mom in an apartment, and then we got together 2019, like July.
Yeah.
And then I want to say, after like a month of us dating, he was spending the night almost like every day, almost. Yeah. And then maybe like 4 or 5 months in, he started like slowly moving some stuff in. And then the pandemic happened.
Well, what's your mom saying about all this at that point?
My mom didn't really care.
Yeah.
My mom actually kind of appreciated having a man in the house.
Yeah.
My mom's just like she's been forced to be like an independent woman, but all she's ever craved is like the safety of a man.
Yeah.
Oh, that's like every other.
It's like
woman.
A Tyler Perry movie.
Yeah. And she's just like, ay, gracias a Dios, la dama está en la casa. Ay, porque si no quiere.
And Adam's a good guy. He's considerate, Okay, so the pandemic happens.
Yeah, the pandemic happened. Then my mom got sick, and she got us both sick. So then we had to quarantine together because he didn't want to get his family sick. And then at that point, it was just like he was there all the time.
Yeah.
And then at one point...
So to me, I think, okay, we're living with your mom forever.
Yeah.
Yeah. She appreciates us.
Yeah.
You guys got your own room.
Yeah.
It's fine. Why did you move out?
Because my mom was like, at some point, I just have to start saving up for retirement, and the rent in this apartment is too crazy. She's like, so I'm going to move back in with my mom. She's like, and
this is the most Mexican. Are you Mexican?
Everybody's mom
I'm
getting
Mexican,
used
half
in this
Salvadorian,
story.
but my mom is Salvadorian.
Okay, your mom's Salvadorian.
Yeah.
Well, this is for sure the most Latino thing.
This is why I don't want to have kids, because I'm gonna give them a house. Ain't nobody gonna live with
your
me.
Mom's like, I'm gonna live back with my mom.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
And
She was
then her mom was like, we're gonna have to move back with my mom.
Yeah.
And she did.
She's like, you could come with me if you want. If not, figure it out.
Yeah. Damn, a mom moving back in with a grandma. I'll never forget when I quit being a youth pastor about the same time as my brother got out of the military. And so we both, my mom and my sister had like a condo down the street, like two bedrooms upstairs and then downstairs like the living room. And me and my brother went on a tear. You know, we were drinking down on Restaurant Row at this place called Michael's Barbecue. We would pregame, drink at BJ's, drink at Fridays, just getting drunk Monday through Friday, falling asleep on the couch together, like on the living room floor and stuff. I'll never forget my mom. After about 4 months of this, my mom came downstairs and said, God told me you guys got to move out. Damn, can you believe God would do us like that? Damn, God, why you fucking doing us so dirty? I served you for so long.
I would have been like, you know what, that's funny, because you know what he told me?
He told me you got to take care of your mom forever.
Like, I just finished talking to him too.
Well, you know, luckily we did get a, right down the street, on the same street. This is how long ago this was, so 20 years ago. We found a 3-bedroom place, 3-bedroom, 2-bath on the same street. This is right down the street in Covina, for $900. Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, 20 years ago, that's how much it was. So me and my brother and my sister all moved out. I had the master with my own bathroom. I paid $275.
Damn.
Oh, I want to
a lot of money back then, though, huh?
Me think me go and take me own life.
No, I kind of was. I was working at TGI Fridays 5 days a week, and I was making like $100, $120 a shift. So 3 shifts, and my rent's covered. 5 days a week I was working. We're doing so much, getting drunk all the time. Some of the best days of my life. Those are that's my 20s doing that shit. You guys are lucky. You get to be doing stand-up comedy at the Chatterbox, you know, living large in Long Beach. Well, I was paying the price, you know, having weird sex.
Okay. Well,
I mean, if it makes anybody else feel better, this is tea on myself. Sorry to my family in advance. They're not going to listen. But my brother is like in his 40s, and my mom had to tell him, like, time to go.
Yeah. What made your mom do that?
She doesn't want to. She wants to decorate the house the way she wants to now. She doesn't really want.
So he had to take down his Scarface posters and stuff.
Well, she wants to like, and then we have my nieces there. So, and she's just tired of like cleaning up after so many people.
Who are the nieces?
I have nieces.
Who are the parents?
My brother and his wife.
So, and then there was another brother she was kicking out?
No, my brother and his wife and their daughters are my nieces.
Okay.
So she's like, okay, now you guys.
So your family has to move out?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, my mom kind of wants to just like do her own thing.
Be a regular woman? I mean, your mom's a senior citizen now, right?
Yeah, so she wants to like do her own thing, and she's like, it'll be a lot cheaper for me too if it's just like us, me, her man, and then that's it. Because I'm barely home, but like.
But you got to stay.
Yes. I don't come with the whole family though. Like I don't come with the whole family. So
the La Puente Princess.
Did he take it okay?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, he did.
Good. Okay.
And I can't wait to have his room. It's so big. It's so big.
And maybe your mom will kick you out when you're turning 40, you know?
Maybe. I don't know. I'm already saving to move out. I'm focused on moving out too.
All right,
I definitely want to move out.
Well, you're on the treadmill every day, so I could see that happening very soon for you.
Yes, and if I can't financially move out, at least I know I look good enough so somebody will move me out, you know?
Yeah. I'm glad that you're willing to cash in your body for these different monetary things.
Hey, look, certain men would not date me if I wasn't looking the way that I do either.
And those are the guys you want to be with?
No, but they'll fall in love with my personality anyway, so.
All right. All right. So you and Adam are on the lookout.
Yeah.
Your mom's going home. And did you find a spot?
Yeah. So she had given us a year to figure it out.
Yeah.
But the very next month, I used to work at a funeral home, and I was really close to my manager, and she used to live in El Monte.
Man, Sylvia, there's people, when I hear about their lives, and I'm like, thank God you found stand-up comedy. Because you wonder, you meet this person works in a funeral home.
Yeah.
How many hours you crank in there?
I don't work there anymore.
I know, but were you?
I was full-time.
Full-time, clocking in at the funeral home. What'd you do there?
Marketing.
Do you have any particular piece of marketing that you were proud of?
Nah, dude. I feel like any full-time actual job I have, I just try to fuck around and get paid and not do as I do enough to not get fired for as long as possible.
How do you market for the funeral? Do you have to come up with slogans? Like, I know you guys are dying to get in here.
I wish it was that easy.
It's killing you to get in this club.
I was going to places where people die, and then I was telling them, like, hey, like, if someone dies, tell their families to, like, come to us. I was going to, like, hospices and senior homes and police stations and hospitals, and they'd always look at me like I was the Grim Reaper, and I would just show up with donuts, like, I got donuts.
Oh my God.
Here's my card.
Man, there's a script in there somewhere.
Yeah.
All right, so you're working in the funeral home, and someone died, and their space opened up, a spot opened.
No, my manager at the time we were really close, and she told me that her boyfriend, some connection to her boyfriend, she used to live in a spot in El Monte, and that it recently opened up. And I was like, oh, we'll go take a look at it. And we went to go look at it the day she told us. And the lady was like, I have 2 other people coming to look at it today. So unless you put a $500 deposit down right now, like, I'm going to give it to the first people. So I was like, $500 deposit, fuck it. So we did it, and it was a garage. It was an apartment built inside of a garage. And, I mean, it was like a 1-bedroom. It was all split up. It was shaped real weird and really tiny. But I was like, it was $1,300 between 2 people.
Nothing, yeah.
So I was like, fuck it. We had a parking spot, free Wi-Fi, and that was like no bills included. So
wow.
It was just like, and then also free washer dryer. So I was like, things just kind of were kismet in that moment. So then, like, that same month, I told my mom, like, hey, we're moving out next month. And she was like, oh, shit, I thought it was going to take you a year. And I was like, nope, get your shit and get out of here. I was going to say the B word. She's a very nice lady.
Go to grandma's house.
Yeah. Yeah. And
so that was 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Obviously, this place had some drawbacks as you're living there. By this time I've met you.
Yeah.
I've heard you complaining about certain things. Yeah. What was wrong with the garage?
Oh, my God. First of all, the bathroom was in the kitchen.
Ooh. And this bitch a lot.
I be girl.
You talk about a lot.
I love it.
She goes in there and doesn't come out for like 20 minutes, and she's like sending you pictures while she's in there. You guys are in the same place but not the same room because she's sitting on the toilet.
Look, everyone's got their hobbies.
Call this bitch the Unabomber because she be bombing up every restroom.
No,
like
but
this.
it was rough, man. There was no windows in the kitchen.
You said the bathroom was in the kitchen. Is that real?
No, seriously. Like
there
when
was
you
a
walk
door,
in,
obviously, though.
yeah, there was a door. Like you walk into the kitchen and you have to walk through it to get to the bathroom, and the bathroom had no windows.
Oh my God.
And a fucking skylight right over the toilet. So when I was taking a shit in the summer, and it's the garage, so it's extremely fucking hot all the time.
Yeah.
And there was central AC. There was AC, but the AC was only in the living room and in the bedroom. So it wouldn't circulate to the kitchen or to the restroom.
Yeah. So you're sweating in there.
We would have to shit fully naked because it was like fucking what's the movie?
You guys didn't
Slumdog Millionaire.
Uh-huh.
You know when he's shitting in the outhouse in the middle of the summer and the sun is just beaming down on him? That's what it was like. I would lose weight taking a shit. Not a lot, but enough to notice.
But enough.
Yeah, it was horrific.
You ain't want to wear a visor?
Bitch, I would still have the top of my head exposed.
Put the Theo hats on, the farmer's hats on, a Tejana or some shit.
Theo hat on.
Naked with the Tejana hat on, squatty potty right below.
And then, like, the smell ruminates to the rest of the kitchen. It was like cooking. I'm like, we got to go somewhere else tonight. I'm trying to eat good, you know?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. 2 big people, one place to hot.
Yeah.
Doesn't mix.
We had to get real comfortable with each other.
Real fast.
Yeah.
Okay. But this wonderful opportunity. I remember when you told me this that came out, that you guys were going to buy a house.
Yeah.
That's it. She said this on stage that they were going to buy a house. I'm doing the quotes for a reason. Explain to them what happened.
So my boyfriend's mom told us, like, before we even moved into the spot we had when this happened, she was like, hey, would you guys ever consider building an ADU in our backyard or in our garage? And I was like, yeah, but I'm over here thinking like 10 years later, you know, somewhere way down the line. And then I guess him and his mom had been talking about it for a bit, that she really wanted to do it. Like they wanted a little financial help, like with the rent. And then aside from that, she's like, this would also be a really good investment for you guys, because eventually, you know, this is going to be the home she gives to her kids. And she's like, in the future, you guys could rent that out and live in the main house. That could pay off you guys living in the main house, because their rent is super cheap.
Yeah.
Their mortgage, they got it like 35, 40 years ago, you know?
Like $800, $900, $1,000. Yeah.
Very affordable. So they were like, you guys would be way more comfortable here. Plus, we have a little dog. We have our son, my Sachi Pops.
Well, humps everything.
But he's beautiful while he does it. That's not the point.
Rubbing all up on me, full on rocket.
Okay, but you love it.
Wait, did you say full on rocket? Are you talking about the dog's?
Red thing comes out.
He's a beautiful
he just
boy.
Stares at you and his red is out. It's disgusting.
Yeah.
I think I would be flattered.
He's a wiener dog.
I'm
you
not.
know?
Let's not say on this.
It's a compliment to you. You want to be the hottest bitch in La Puente? You have to deal with the consequences.
You're gonna have to some wet pink things sliding out. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a great idea. You're gonna build a thing. So stay in El Monte at your own place.
Yeah.
Build when the thing builds, then you move out, right?
Not exactly how that happened. But
How come that did not happen like that?
well, because we're paying for it to be built out of our own pockets.
Okay.
Right? So Adam had savings. He paid 95% of this build.
Yeah.
I got like a very small I requested a $20,000 loan because
Yeah.
my credit was really good for some reason.
Yeah.
Out of nowhere. And then I was like, I actually have like really bomb credit right now. So can I just get like $20K like really easy?
Yeah.
And they were just like, no, you have no credit history. Your credit is good, but you don't have a like big enough history for us to trust you.
Yeah.
So they were like, you could take 5. And I was like, oh shit, I'll take what I can get. You know? So I'm like, babe, this is what I have to offer.
Yeah.
But thankfully the man that was building our home is like a family friend of her, Adam's mom. And he's like, I can build it for exactly the amount of money that we had.
Yeah.
So we were like, if we're going to be doing this, we have to be saving up just in case. Because, you know, projects will end up costing you so much more.
Yes.
So we're like, why keep paying rent in a place while this is being built when we can just like rough it in the living room for as long as it takes? And he said I could do it in a month.
So you moved into his family's home.
Yeah.
On the couch in the living room.
Yeah.
Did you guys ever have sex on that couch?
No.
You never did.
Are his parents also big too?
She's the
You're
lineage.
really caught up with
Yeah.
how fat everybody is.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm
Just
so
want to know if
concerned.
there's room inside the house.
They can get through the door. Everything's
Yeah.
fine. Yeah.
They're very like normal sized.
She was going to say normal.
Yeah,
they're
didn't say
normal.
normal. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So everyone else is fine. Stevona.
They're the freaks.
Yeah, we're the weirdos, the odd
my
ones
God.
out.
By the way, I apologize to the fat community if it makes
Yeah,
it look like I'm a
fatties.
hater.
You hear that? She
I'm
feels
not.
bad
Clearly,
about
I
you.
love them.
She's
Clearly, I
so
hang out with
sorry.
them.
As friends. So, you never were tempted? Did you get on the couch? It's okay if you didn't.
Adam a few times would kind of try to like he was like in the mood.
Yeah.
But I grew up like with my grandma and my dad, very like reserved and very like Catholic. So
Love that. Love
anytime,
it. Me too.
even when he tries to kiss me in front of his parents to like say goodbye, I'm like, what the are you doing? Like, get away from me.
I feel like that too.
I get so disgusted. I'm
weird.
like, your parents are watching. He's like, it's lovely. It's
I-
love.
I
It's
hate,
just
like,
a
holding
sweet
my
kiss.
hands, holding
Yeah.
hands with a boyfriend in front of
Yeah, I'm like, don't
Hands?
touch me.
Yeah, I don't-
Yeah.
That's fucked up weird Catholic
Yeah.
It is. No, it
Yeah.
is. And
No, but I
I
feel the
blame my
same.
dad. I blame my dad for making me feel like so ashamed to like do things.
Yeah,
'cause
well,
I'm,
when
like,
I had my first boyfriend, my
scared.
grandma wouldn't let him in the house. She would force us to sit on the stoop in the front of the house, and then she would put a picture of the Virgin Mary at the window so that we could stare at it. And then if he tried to like hold my hand or kiss me, she'd knock on the window and point at the picture. She's like, mira, Mira que te está viendo. And I'm just like, okay, girl. We'd have to like fuck in the car.
So how long did you have to live in the living room for?
Like a little over a month.
That's all, just 1 month?
He was pretty dead on. I mean, he said a month. It was like a month and a half. But
Good.
yeah.
But you guys weren't having sex at that time then? I mean, you've been together a long time. Well, I guess a month's not the end of the world, right?
I mean, we did have a little rendezvous at the Best Western down the street
All right.
once.
Yeah,
We were
one
just
time, yeah.
honestly at that point. It wasn't even I wanted to sleep on a bed.
Yeah.
I'm like, I just want a bed.
Yeah. And the Best Western down on Restaurant Row, very affordable.
Yeah.
$110 out the door.
I love me a good Best Western.
Yeah.
Yeah, Best Western's fine. Holidays Inn's fine. We don't have to go overboard, folks.
They know me. They know me at the Best Western right there by
Bitch,
LA
that is
Fitness.
not
and
a compliment.
Chick-fil-A.
That is
What
not.
a slut.
No, not like that. I go by myself.
Why else would you just go to the Best Western?
Well, I live with 7 other people, so sometimes, I would just get like a room and then just like
that's
stay
nice.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or when I had a man, we would go.
Yeah. I'm polyamorous, so and then now I live with my uncle, so there's no way if the person doesn't have their own home, or if they have a partner, then we would have to get a hotel. So that's very weird. That's why I only really date people that are polyamorous, because regular girls do not like getting a hotel. It makes them feel like whores. Polyamorous people, we don't mind feeling like whores, you know what I mean? That's kind of our thing.
It's kind of.
Don't bring that shit inside the house.
Yeah. Well, what Baby Hilda, the crib's there, I don't mind. I mean, one time.
That would throw off the vibe if you're doing something sexual like that. You see a crib.
Yeah, we've got to very work it out right now, because Julie, you obviously haven't had sex with a lot of single moms.
No.
Just the one. Just the one.
What the hell?
Dude, one time we have to like sneak. Either my mom will come over or her parents will come over, and we have to like say, oh, we got to take care of some chatterbox stuff real quick in the bedroom. But otherwise, one time we tried to have sex. The baby went down for a nap, and we're like, we'll just be quiet. And so we went, and we started doing everything. I'm fucking laying it down sick. I'm sucking on and stuff. We're doing all the right stuff. And then when Julia's about to get on top, we heard her, we like looked, and she was like, she was at the crib like this, just looking at us. And then I was like, fuck. I was mad because we hadn't had sex in a while. I was like mad. It was only 10 minutes in, something like that. And so Julia was like, I'll go get the iPad. So she put on her robe and she got the iPad and she like put it up, and I'm like, I can't. I can't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You shouldn't.
Yeah. She's a baby. She's not going to remember.
I don't know.
I mean, I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it.
know.
I couldn't do it. So, okay.
Good.
Yeah. But people, back in Jesus times, everybody lived in one house. There wasn't even rooms. They all used to all sleep together. People were in those times.
I know, but look how they were, though. They were like not the best.
Palestinian?
Yeah, but they were
Wow,
like,
that's
killing everything.
Things were
They were
getting
mad
killed
about
over. They were
everything.
Sacrifices were made.
Yeah. If you saw your dad naked, you had to die.
What are you? You're talking about the Moses story.
Yeah.
This is what happens when you read the Bible and you don't have anyone to explain it to you. You take everything literally.
Oh.
1 month, the place gets complete, and here's the happy ending. And for all of you, I know many of you who go to the Chatterbox, or this is for a lot of LA locals. I know most of you live with your folks. This is the kind of fairy tale that we can have to remember. The place got finished. You guys now live in this back house, right?
Yeah.
Is it nice?
It's very nice.
Yeah.
I mean, think about the fact that we'll never actually be able to own a home.
Yeah.
I got to design my own home.
Yeah.
I got to tell them where to put up the walls, and that we wanted the exposed beams to make it look bigger, and that I wanted a certain kind of door and a certain kind of tile and a certain kind of, I picked every fucking detail, Adam and I, but mostly me, because baby wants, baby gets.
That's right. See, so ultimately I feel like
I'm like, maybe I need to gain some weight.
It
what
works
does
for
that have
me.
to do with anything?
It works for me.
Sylvia used her body to get a house.
Goddamn right.
By the way, guys, all jokes. We all know I'm wholesome. We all know I'm America's sweetheart. It's jokes. It's just kidding.
So ultimately, guys, this is a happy ending. I feel like Sylvia's in there having sex with her man once a month. Her in-laws are right outside, twice a month, right outside the door, watching, knocking.
Their dogs are watching her.
The dogs are watching, knocking. But this is the kind of thing we could look forward to in Trump's America. So, Sylvia, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me on.
Where can we find you online?
You can look me up on Instagram, Silvia, Silvia De Anda 17.
All right. Look her up. She's so funny. She'll be back at the Chatterbox soon. Thank you guys so much for listening. This has been Steve, and that's Stevona. We love you. We'll see you next week.
Yeah.